What's up, everybody? It's me, and I'm going to be coming at you today with a slightly different video than usual. It's going to be audio commentary, and I'm here to talk about a video game that comes out in 2 months. It's a game a lot of people are excited about. I am very excited for this one, and of course, it is Grand Theft Auto 5. Going to be released mid-September, and I already have my $5 down on a pre-order, and I've never pre-ordered a game before. This is my first one. That's how excited I am for this game, and that's how sure I am this is going to be a kick-ass game. So, obviously, I'm not alone. My local play and trade already has about 40 or 50 pre-orders on file, and they're expecting to get 70 copies on the first day and sell them all very quickly. And this is a play and trade that does very well for itself, but it is not some kind of mega mart where hundreds of people come in every hour. So, Grand Theft Auto 5. First, to understand why I think this game is going to be the mother lode, we have to talk ourselves through the series, because I am a Grand Theft Auto fan. I've made videos in the past about stuff I've done in Vice City, and Grand Theft Auto 4 is one of my 20 favorite games ever. I really loved the innovations they made in 4. I know a lot of people were annoyed by things in that game, but I personally loved it, and I thought it was a huge step up from San Andreas and that previous, sixth generation engine. So, if you look back at the series, ever since it went 3D, let's just say it starts with Grand Theft Auto 3, even though we know it didn't, the 3D era. I thought Grand Theft Auto 3 was a good game, but I thought in many ways it was kind of a skeleton for the game that they actually wanted to make. I mean, you look at a game like Grand Theft Auto 3, you see the open world, you see the open environment, you see the ability to go do whatever you want at any point, you see the ability to choose missions from people, and you have a variety of missions, but I think the soul of the game was lacking because they expended so much energy in creating such a unique gameplay experience that they didn't have time to really give the game a unique twist. That, and of course, it's hard to give a unique twist on something that you're creating yourself. So, if I was to rate, Grand Theft Auto 3 on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give it an 8, and I'd call it good, but not much better than good. And it still holds up today as a good game. So now we look at Vice City. There are some things about the Grand Theft Auto Vice City gameplay that I think are a little lackluster. Not bad, but I think the combat and shooting mechanics are kind of boring because you just lock on to everything. And that kind of hinders some parts of the game for me in the fact that, you just lock onto enemies rather than going through an aim and shoot system. However, one thing about Vice City that I loved was the theme. I think Vice City to this day still has the best theme of any Grand Theft Auto game. It's about a guy who's not a very nice person. In fact, he's quite a bad person who's willing to do anything to get rich and powerful. And that he's a Tony Montana XP, and it shows. So you look at that game, you're a character who starts with nothing, and you work your way up to where you are worth billions of dollars potentially, and you own half of Vice City. I think that journey is a ton of fun to go through, and that is one element of that game, Vice City, that I absolutely loved. And if I was to rate that game on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd say an 8.5, and I'd call it a very good game. But the main takeaway I had from that game was that theme of wanting to just get rich and powerful no matter what the cost. And then we go to San Andreas, which I'm actually playing seriously for the first time just now on my computer. And in terms of gameplay, I think San Andreas made many steps forward. I like the aiming system that you have on the computer because you can do the aim and shoot rather than a lock on and just plug away system. You have the RPG elements, which I really enjoy. You can go work out, you can get your hair cut, you can eat to get fat, you can work out to get thin. You can do if you do certain things enough, you get better at them, you gain experience in them. I love all that stuff, and I do think San Andreas is a better game than Vice City. But we got away a little bit from that theme from Vice City that I loved. San Andreas is about getting respect. It's not really about money and power, although there is certainly some of that there. And you still have things like you can buy property in San Andreas, like in Vice City, which I really like. But the theme of San Andreas is more about getting respect more than it is money. So I think it's a very good game. I'd give it an 8.7 out of 10. I'd say it's better than Vice City, but I think they left some things on the table, and they probably meant to do this. But um, I think the character of the game could have been a little better. And then we come to Grand Theft Auto 4, which I've already said I loved. But there were a couple things missing from this game that bugged me. As much as I loved playing the game, the missions, the running around in the sandbox, the shooting mechanics, the side missions where you can play darts or go bowling or get a girlfriend, as much as I love all of that stuff, there's hardly any focus on that game on you trying to just get a lot of money. In fact, your character in the game, it seems like he doesn't care about money all that much. He has another goal in mind that really doesn't involve money. Obviously, by now, if you want to play Grand Theft Auto 4, you already have. So, I'll just go ahead and say it. His motivation is revenge, and his motivation is actually a fairly noble goal. What he wants to do is noble. The way he achieves this goal is not really noble, but he does have a decent streak to him. He's not a completely bad guy. And that's fine. That's the story Rockstar wanted to tell, and I think they told that story quite well. But my problem is that when you look at Grand Theft Auto 4, you can't buy properties. It's very difficult to amass any significant amount of money. And even if you do, it doesn't change the game or your experience with it. So I loved everything else about the game, but looking at Grand Theft Auto 4, what held it back for me in terms of being a masterpiece was it was missing that element of trying to get rich and powerful. It got away from that. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give it a 9.4 because it is all about the gameplay, and the gameplay in Grand Theft Auto 4 is brilliant. But it's missing. So the point I'm trying to get at is all three of those games, Vice City, San Andreas, and 4, they all had elements to them that I thought were amazing, and the other two games are another game in that series. They didn't have that as good. They had other things. So you have these three games that I think are all very good to amazing, but I just wish there was a game that would bring all three of those things together. So I've talked enough about the Grand Theft Auto series as a whole. So the point I'm trying to get to is I think Grand Theft Auto 5 is going to be the combination of everything good that came out of those three games. So let me talk about some things that I've heard about Grand Theft Auto 5. Basically, you play as three different characters. You play as a character named Michael. He's a former bank robber. He's retired. And then you have Trevor, his former partner in crime, who lives alone in a trailer. And he's kind of a crazy, weird guy. And then you have Franklin. He's a repo man for an Armenian car dealership. So basically, these three characters are drawn together because they all want to get rich. They all want to make a lot of money. They all want to go into the criminal underworld and come out rich and powerful. I love that. I love bringing back the focus on characters who just want to do whatever it takes to get ahead in life, to make a lot of money. And I love the idea of having game mechanics where you make money independent of the plot. For instance, in Vice City, you could buy properties. These properties would earn you money that you could go pick up at certain intervals. You would basically collect rent on the properties that you owned. Those things had nothing to do with the story. You didn't have to do them, but it was a way for you to get rich outside of the story. There are other things in that game that are similar. So when you look at this game, it looks like there's going to be elements like that. Like you have to plan robberies, and then you can decide how your robbery goes based on how well you play it, and how much money and achievement you get out of that robbery depends on how well you do it. So I love that. If you watch the gameplay trailer that came out 2 days ago, brand new trailer, showed some gameplay, there's a stock market you can trade on, which is an idea that I absolutely love, and I cannot wait to trade stocks in Grand Theft Auto games. You can go, basically, it gives you a lot of things to do on the side that have nothing to do with the story that Grand Theft Auto 5 will have. You have the ability to play tennis. You have the ability to go play golf. So you're talking about taking the get rich in the criminal underworld element of Vice City, and you're putting it with the let's also live our lives normally when we get the opportunity to, that we saw in Grand Theft Auto 4. And to top it off, I also read a report that says the RPG elements of of San Andreas are coming back. So we have those three elements all coming together to meet in one game. So everything else we hear about this game sounds awesome. The open world is going to be huge. We have 3 different characters that all have slight differences between the 3 of them. We have elements of the game that have nothing to do with being a criminal. Things like golf and tennis, trading stocks, and all those elements sound fantastic, and this game would already be extremely exciting for me regardless if it was just those things. But the fact that I get the sense that they have taken their favorite pieces of those last 3 Grand Theft Auto games and crammed them all into one game with this Grand Theft Auto 5 makes me very excited. So I'm going to be getting this game the day it comes out, and I know a lot of people are going to join me there. So let's go. So before I end this video, let's take a look at some other things that I've heard about this game. There are over 1,000 car customization options. This includes things like bulletproof tires and armor, which is great for me because whenever I'm in a game like this and I get a lot of money, I always try to trick myself out as much as possible. And the idea of assembling basically an army of cars that are all armored and ready to go into battle is awesome to me. You have things like customized guns, you have stealthy guns, you have loud guns, you have guns with a scope. You have a revamped melee system to make the hand-to-hand combat mechanics of the game improved from the previous Grand Theft Auto games, because if you look at the previous Grand Theft Auto games, the melee system was very kind of bland. All 3 protagonists have different powers specific to their character to make it a little more RPG-ish. It's going to be very light, but it's also going to be there. Combat AI is going to be much more advanced. It's going to actually use strategy. Obviously, this is something that's been around for a long time, but it's still going to be cool to see. The more you shoot, the better you get at it, the more ammo you can carry. You can go to a shooting range to increase the stat, kind of like how you could improve your fitness level by working out in San Andreas. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of other stuff about this game. Go watch the gameplay trailer. Go look it up. But everything I hear about this game screams masterpiece in my mind. And I'm making a bold prediction that when I get this game and when I play it, it's going to become one of my 10 favorite games ever. Maybe even top 5. I don't know. But everything I hear about this game is golden so far, and I can't wait to play it. So those are my early thoughts on Grand Theft Auto 5.